Gabriel Benitez takes on Sodiq Yusuff on the main card of UFC 241. Of all the prospects on the card, Sodiq Yusuff has been given the get-go on the main card of this one. And I know why. It's because they're planning a UFC Africa. Okay, and they want a few more African stars. And they want to build that African market. So they're giving Sodiq Yusuff the spotlight on the main card of this one. And he deserves it, because Sodiq Yusuff is an absolute savage. I actually picked Shaman Moraes to beat him, because Shaman Moraes is a world-class kickboxer. Okay, I know he's lost a few times in the UFC. I feel like it's because he's scared of takedowns, but Sodiq Yusuff completely outstruck him the entire time. And Shaman Moraes went on to lose to Andre Fili, which shows us that he is terrible. But either way, Sodiq Yusuff's getting big wins back to back to back. A young guy again. These guys are sponges. And Gabriel Benitez is the A side of this fight. Gabriel Benitez versus Sodiq Yusuff. If you're 21-6, you don't deserve to be first on the list of names. Okay? You are second. Sodiq Yusuff's name should be first on this fight. But either way, Gabriel Benitez, a decent opponent for Sodiq Yusuff. He's got 2 wins in a row in the UFC, coming off a big slam KO in the first round of his fight, which is very nice. He has a win over Jason Knight, who you guys all know, who put up a better fight than Paulie Malignaggi did against Artem Lobov. You know, that former world champion boxer that needs them gloves real bad. Lost to Enrique Berzola, but that's a good guy. Also lost to Andre Fili, but beat Sam Sicilia and beat Clay Collard. Beat Humberto Dudu Brown, I think his nickname was. That's the guy who pooed himself in the octagon. I remember that guy. Humberto Dudu Brown. Look it up. Humberto Brown shits himself in the octagon. That's a true thing. And I'm telling you, they're giving Sodiq Yusuff a bit of a up in competition here, because Gabriel Benitez, although he's lost a few times, he's no joke. And when you look at these losses sometimes, you may think, oh, he's lost so many times. But these losses have happened in the UFC. And he's also won a lot of fights in the UFC. I feel like Sodiq Yusuff gets this one done. This is a risky pick for me, though, because I am going to go with Sodiq Yusuff here. I don't think he's going to get the finish. I'll be honest with you guys. I feel like he's going to get a patient decision. I think it's actually going to be quite a boring fight, because Gabriel Benitez has a lot of weird movements in there. But I feel like Sodiq Yusuff is going to be patient enough to find himself a win over 3 rounds. He's not going to let the crowd get to him, because he's had a bit of boring fights before. Like the fight against Shaman Moraes, before that bit of action later on in the fight, wasn't the most impressive. He had an early stoppage win against Suman Mokhtarian, which, if it wasn't an early stoppage, it would have been finished well anyway, but the ref just stepped in a little bit too early. They should have let it go a little bit longer, but Suman was done in that fight, and Sodiq Yusuff gets the TKO. But either way, another Contender Series alumni. That shows bringing in fucking talent left, right, and centre, you know. I feel like I like the Contender Series way more than I ever did the Ultimate Fighter. The Ultimate Fighter was good, not for the fighters on it, but for the coaches. But I feel like the Contender Series, you know what I mean? Because you never really watched the Ultimate Fighter thinking, I wonder who's going to be the fighters on this show. You know, you never really watched that. Unless it was the heavyweight one where they had Kimbo Slice on. It was a bit of a fun one. It was a bit more fun back then. But you never really get, like, your hands ready. And, like, you get sweats thinking about, oh, my God, who are they going to have on the Ultimate Fighter? Which prospects are they going to bring in? The Contender Series is more focused on the actual fighters. And I think Sodiq Yusuff is a savage, guys. And I think he's going to get the job done. I really do. I really do. I think he gets it done over 3 rounds. Gabriel Benitez, I'll say it again, 6 losses, you've had 6 chances to learn. Sodiq Yusuff had 1 chance to learn, and he got it done. He's been KO'd. He immediately improves his striking and TKOs his next guy within 46 seconds. Then he wins a decision over Mike Davis on the Contender Series. Then he gets another TKO in the first round. He's learned his mistake. And I think he's going to impose his will on Gabriel Benitez. And also, these African guys coming through, man. He is African, right? He's from the United States on here, but he has an African flag and an African headscarf and all that stuff. So he's repping Africa, but even still, these guys are savages. Sodiq Yusuff gets the job done. I really wished he was living in Africa, or like spent a lot of his life in Africa, because that really does change the tide a little bit, you know? Because the amount of guys, when you think When you think of fighters, what do you think of? You don't think of the rich guys that have it all and just choose to fight because it's fun, right? Sage Northcutt, you don't think of those guys, all right? You think of the guys who are sort of on the lower end of the life. You know what I'm saying? They're trying and they have all this hope and all this will, and it takes that rough circumstance in your beginning to really have the commitment and dedication to change it enough to commit to a sport like martial arts, to commit to a sport like fighting. You need to be at the lower rung. You know what I'm saying? A lot of guys that start up here, they have no passion to get hit in the face for money. They don't need to. You know what I'm saying? You saw that a bit with Sage Northcutt. Alexander Hernandez has been, although he's kind of good, he's kind of letting me down. I feel like he lost against Trinaldo upon rewatching the fight. But even still, being from Africa, you saw it with Ngannou. It builds these guys with such, like, it commits them to the game. They want to change their life so much. I don't know why I'm even talking about Africa this much, because he's from the USA. So I hope he's from Africa at some point in his life, because that would really solidify my decision here. But I am going to still go with Sodiq Yusuff. I like the guy. You know what I'm saying? I really do. He gets the job done by decision. It's not going to be fun, but it's going to be technical. And Sodiq Yusuff is as technical as they come. And he's going to put a clinic on Gabriel Benitez. See you later. Goodbye. Thanks for watching. Hit that.